stand as we sing our next hymn of praise, Cry Out to Jesus.
To everyone who's lost someone they love, long before it was their time, you feel like the days you had were not enough when you said goodbye. And to all of the people with burdens and pains, keeping you back from your life, you believe that there's nothing and there is no one who can make it right. There is hope for the helpless, rest for the weary, love for the broken heart. There is grace and forgiveness, mercy and healing to meet you wherever you are. Cry out to Jesus. Cry out to Jesus. To the marriage that's struggling just to hang on, they lost all of their faith in love. They've done all they can to make it right again, still it's not enough. For the ones who can't break the addictions and chains, you try to give up, but you come back again. Just remember that you're not alone in your shame and your suffering. There is hope for the helpless, rest for the weary, love for the broken heart. There is grace and forgiveness, mercy and healing to meet you wherever you are. Cry out to Jesus. When you're lonely and it feels like the whole world is falling on you, you just reach out, you just cry out to Jesus. Cry to Jesus. To the widow who struggles with being alone, wiping the tears from her eyes. For the children around the world without a home, say a prayer tonight. There is hope for the helpless, rest for the weary, love for the broken heart. There is grace and forgiveness, mercy and healing. He'll meet you wherever you are. There is hope for the helpless, rest for the weary, love for the broken heart. There is grace and forgiveness, mercy and healing. He'll meet you wherever you are. Cry out to Jesus. Cry out to Jesus. Cry out to Jesus. Cry out to Jesus. Amen.
Please be seated.
people in my congregation know that I just can't sit still during worship. So I have to get up and go and just be in the spirit. And anyway, Skip, these guys don't know you. William, it's okay. He's not that scary. Here's another person you've not gotten a chance to know, but I wish you could. I've had more of a chance to get to know you in the past year with the missional group that we did, and then working with you on new church development. Skip Strickland is an amazing man. Very spirit-filled, very grace-filled, very deep and wise. And it's been such a pleasure to work with you. And he is an incredible cheerleader. You could be having the worst day ever, and you'd finish 5 minutes with him, and you'd think you were having the best day ever. And he's been a great cheerleader for our congregation and our development, and so I wanted to invite him to give a view of Elizabeth from where he's been sitting, and it's been various places. You're currently Peaks and Plain District Superintendent? Yep. Northeast Colorado. Oh, Peaks and Plain and Northeast Colorado, so he's not very busy at all.
Thank you. And actually, I'm somewhat here in my role as the coordinator of new church development for the Rocky Mountain Annual Conference. So that's where I've really been able to keep an eye on you for a number of years. I've done that particular position for 8 years. So way back at the inception, when Mike and was thinking about doing this, we were part of those teams that would listen to the proposals and consider, how it is that we would then distribute the tithe plus money. For those Methodists, you've heard it called the apportionments. That's one of the fun things about becoming a chartered church. You now have the opportunity to give so that others can dream dreams like the one you dreamed and that became true today. But we know that, of course, this is just the beginning, and that's why it was fun to be a cheerleader of someone like Terry and someone like Mike, people that dream these big dreams. I got to do this new church planning also in my career. And one of my little slogans was, happy are those who dream dreams and are willing to pay the price to make them come true. To do something like this, there is always a price to be paid. But of course, our example is Jesus. Jesus paid a price. And look at all of us in this room today. From whatever way we follow Jesus, there's something about that ongoingness of the good news of Jesus Christ that we need to share in the world so that this world might be transformed through that good news. So I just want to say on behalf of the New Church Development Committee of the Rocky Mountain Annual Conference, congratulations on this day. But we never had any doubt because Parker was willing to step up and be the mother church. That was kind of the model that we decided to adopt over these last 8 years, I would say, because we saw that to be the most successful model. That there would be an established church that would have a dream of establishing a new church. So thank you to everyone from Parker who did that. But then also we knew we had to have a good leader. And so in this case, Michael discussed that. We concurred with it, and Terry has been that leader. But Terry knows all she's doing is channeling God. Because what this work is all about is what is God up to? Now, this is kind of weird, but I'm going to close with this. Have you seen that new Google commercial? It was showing up on Facebook just the last couple days. I'm going to tell you, it's a strange one here. So, okay, here's the deal. We go into the birth room, and the baby's about to be born, and all of a sudden the baby's born, and the mother looks down, and the baby's sitting up looking at her. And then the baby looks over at the dad who's taking a picture of the birth with his, iPhone, right? And then the baby grabs the iPhone, and then immediately begins to type out some stuff like this. And because the baby's looking down at the umbilical cord, and so he gets on the internet there and learns how to cut his own baby umbilical cord. And then he reaches up and he grabs the little scissors there, and then he cuts the umbilical cord. And then he looks around and he notices, okay, there's the computer over there that's been kind of taking track of this. And then he goes over there, and then he types in the little GPS of where it is that he's supposed to go home to. Now, here's the thing about new churches. Even though you've joined this denomination that's been around a long time, you're a lot like that little baby. We know that you're going to do things that we've never even thought of. You're going to assess data and information, and you're going to be in touch with God in ways that sometimes we've forgotten to be in touch with. So I just hope you realize how important you are to what God is up to. Because Bishop Elaine, your district superintendents, everybody on the staff, everybody in our denomination are watching what God is doing through you. So don't ever give this up. This is an amazing dream that you've had. You've paid an amazing price to be sitting here today. But isn't it cool? This is just another step of the journey. And we congratulate you on this step. Thank you very much.
Skip, I just have an update for you. We've paid the tithe plus from the very beginning, because I said to our congregation, if anybody in this conference knows something about what that tithe plus means, it's us. And we need to be giving back and starting that as part of our original history. So that's been a part of our life together from the beginning.